obviously a disappointing result for you today. You started really well, but you faded late. Why do you feel that was the case?
A lot of reasons, but they hit some big shots. I think we missed some opportunities and missed some foul shots along the way, and missed some shots that we were trying to get to. And I think we also took a few shots that probably were a little rushed and early in our offense that we could have worked to get better shots. But they made big shots, and they kind of drove it down our throats a number of times and finished at the rim. And they made shots and we didn't.
Was it an inconsistent defensive performance today? I mean, there was times where you did defend well, but then there was times where you just let them too easy into the paint.
Yeah, I definitely think we had our moments defensively and really tried to take a stand. And there were other times where we didn't, or there was miscommunication and guys got downhill. I'm picturing Shea Illy in the paint a number of times at the rim or making plays for others. Joe got downhill a number of times. There was inconsistent's a good word.
What's the fix to that? The amount of line drives they got to sort of like a negative rim. How do you fix that?
I think there's when I say that, I think communication was the reason for some real straight line drives. Just miscommunication between guys that let Shea get downhill, but also just I think it's a daily dose of practicing that and making that our part of who we are. And I think we're showing that at times, and it's real exciting to see when we have that buy-in and when the group says this is how we play. I could flip it and say that I thought Al had a number of times where he took a stand on Joe and Joe made some tough shots over the top. So it's just doing it every day. We just have to do it every day. That's really what the answer is.
You guys have had some great stretches this season, but a loss to Melbourne. How much is this result an indicator of where you guys still need to get to in order to be one of those top echelon teams?
Well, I think it's really important. You have to beat everybody. I mean, you have to beat the best teams in the league to show yourself as a championship contender. You don't necessarily have to do it early November. You need to do it late in the season, as long as you can get there. But just to get the numbers as far as the wins and losses, you need to beat a good number of teams. We've been really good at home until today, and I think it's a good indicator. But I also think, for me, it's just I don't want to say it's just a loss because we want to beat Melbourne United. Phenomenal atmosphere, big-time game. We need to win those big games, and we need to win the moments that help you win those big games.
Craig, what's your impression of where this one fell away from you guys?
Yeah, I think the disappointing thing for us is Melbourne didn't do anything we didn't know they were going to do. That's probably the most frustrating part of it. Like we talk about Chris, Shea getting downhill, like these are all things we spoke about. So, yeah, it's disappointing to break down. We still held them to 92, so yeah, that's too many. Like we say, 80, 85, so a lot of learning, a lot of film to watch, but that's my takeaway from the game is that coaches did a good job in preparing us, we just didn't execute.
You seemed to let out some frustration at the end of that game. It might have just been the moment of, guys not getting back in that moment, but was that sort of like a encapsulation of all those sorts of frustrations?
No, not really. I think every point counts, and we've spoken about that in this league. Obviously, United missed out last year by whatever it was, a couple of points. So it was purely just that. I felt like I was there on my own that last 10, 15 seconds with 2-3 guys to defend, and then obviously I fouled Joe. And so it was literally that simple for me. Maybe a little bit of frustration that we lost, obviously, but yeah, every point matters, and we just gave up an easy one at the end.
You found some rhythm obviously on both ends, but offensively today. What's the key for you to do that on a more consistent basis? Because you've shown glimpses of that throughout the season.
Yeah, I don't think I had a stat in the first half. So as you say, I have felt that inconsistency a little bit throughout the season. For me, I think it's firstly on me to just stay aggressive and stay involved. Sometimes playing that wing position with such talented other guys, you can get a little bit passive, and that's my nature playing with such good talent. Sometimes I can understand, I'm playing with Mitch Creek, like let's get in the ball. I'm playing with Alan Williams, let's get in the ball. But I myself have to take the responsibility to be more aggressive, and I thought I was that in the second half. And the other part is just getting back. I don't use my injury as an excuse. I've 10 games back into it now, but I knew there would be some challenges and some ups and downs, and even throughout training sometimes I still feel like I've got more to give and so much improvement, and I understand that'll come throughout just reps, pure and simple.
Craig, obviously playing with Alan Williams, who I think is the best centre in the competition. What have you learnt from him into your game since you've been with Phoenix?
I've been pretty impressed with him, to be honest. I think, obviously, just watching him on TV, I knew he was good, but I think I've been impressed his defensive ability more than what I thought he had, like his talk and his communication, and he can be at the level. And as we've seen when he's come in, he's been our real motivator, and we weren't struggling without him, but certainly he's turned it around. So yeah, I think he is such a big piece for us, just with his talk and communication, more than obviously his doubles and stuff are great, but being that energy guy, being that motivator, he can really push us forward, I think.
And then for both of you to answer, how important has Ben's been this year? I think it's been the best season so far, and especially the Ben's have been coming out in droves as well throughout the season, not just this one. How important have been, especially the last couple of weeks where he's come down the stretch and your fans have got you over the line with their cheering, and I'm assuming you've all heard from the bench.
Yeah, phenomenal. Obviously a sellout tonight, 8,000 the previous game. Like, we just want to continue to grow this thing. I know, 4 or 5 years into it, and part of my coming in here was obviously to change some culture things, and I think we're slowly doing that. Obviously tonight, disappointingly, is probably a little bit of a step back, but it's, as Mike said before, it's about getting onto the training track, daily habits, and our fans have been phenomenal. Obviously, we're getting out to the schools, we're doing a hell of a lot of promos, and we really appreciate their support and them continuing to back us.
Craig, you spoke about Alan's voice, around the team. Was there anyone else in the team, any veterans who provided, when he got fouled out, just in that last minute and 50-odd seconds, who actually took you aside, and not personally but as a team, and took control, when he was off the court?
I mean, I think that I've been good at that, to be honest. If I give myself a little bit of a pump up, I'm trying to get the guys in the huddle always, just that next play mentality. But all of us can really improve. I think that's what Mike's talking about. We had some breakdowns that are just talk. Like, we say we want to get guys going through our chests, and we didn't do it. The one I remember is Shaylee on myself, because I'm looking around at the on-ball. It's simple, just keep him in front. So, yeah, we can be better everywhere.
Mike, one of the reasons you were hired for this role was to lift the standard defensively, and you brought in guys like Craig, Matt Kenyon, Ben Ayre as well. And as you said, you're not supposed to peak in early November, but where do you assess that this team's at on that end in terms of where you would ultimately expect them to be or want them to be by the end of the season?
Yeah, we've been inconsistent defensively, so it's a constant. As we talked about before, just I would put us as inconsistent right now. I mean, I think this team can score. Even tonight, as we said, I mean, we shot a poor percentage in the paint, and they're very good defensively, and they're very good in the paint, especially with their length and assertiveness defensively. So I'm not too stressed offensively, but I do think the defense needs to be a constant buy-in from the guys, and I can talk about it, and other guys can talk about it, but we just need to consistently demand it. So we're not there yet. So I guess I'd probably say this if we were the best team in the competition too. I would say that I'm happy, but we're not as good as we can be. But I can't wait till that day happens.
Craig, do you think that buy-in from the playing group is there yet on the defensive end of the floor?
It could certainly improve. I think we see that. Like, we see the inconsistencies. We've been very good at home until tonight. So, like I said, they didn't do anything that was revolutionary. It's just simple. So the good thing about that is we know where we can improve. But, yeah, we go away disappointed for sure.
And just quickly, Mike, what do you make of DJ's minutes? Obviously, very new, going to a couple of trainings.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. He's a pro, and man, he's a very good basketball player. And I think we're stoked to have him here. I'm stoked, and he's in, basketball shape, which is nice. Probably, other than the unsportsmanlike, where he was just trying to make something happen and reached out. I thought he was fantastic, and we even played through him a couple possessions, which was nice.
Mike, is there any feeling from you that this is a bit of one that got away? I mean, I know United does have a lot of depth, but this is probably as vulnerable as you're going to see in this season.
Yeah, I thought, it's funny, in the lead-up, it really was a focus on us, and because we saw in preseason when Melbourne didn't have guys, which a lot of us didn't, but they still played hard like they did tonight. So we knew that was going to be how they played, but I did think with the guys that they didn't have that it would impact the way they played. And Flynn coming in and knocking down threes, Chris getting loose a couple times, Rob Lowe with a couple of offensive rebounds I thought was big. So there was some plays from guys just playing hard and being in the right positions that I think dealt us a blow tonight.
Craig talked a bit about when Shea blew past and just watching that play, and you go, where's the help, where's the gatekeeper at the back? Is there a concern from you that you don't have that guy, especially with Gordock out, that if one of your wings makes a wrong read or he gets blown by, there's no one there to sort of clean it up for them, and the trust behind that?
Yes, somewhat, but and I don't remember where the help was on that or how that came about, because there's times when, Matt Kenyon tried to help one time off of Goulding in the corner, and you get penalized for the help. So, we have rules. The first rule is keep the ball in front of you. If it's a straight line drive, it's really difficult to have someone down there waiting unless you structure your defense that way. And we don't just keep someone in the paint and just invite people to drive to that guy. So the concern is keeping the ball in front first, but there should be communication behind to say you're all alone or, hey, I got your help back here.
Craig, does playing a former club have any extra meaning for you? Do you look at it any differently, and then losing to them as well, how do you feel after it?
Not massively for me. I think it's been a few years since I've played for Melbourne as well. I always enjoy playing them. I think, maybe that is a little bit of an aspect, but not really. I think it's just another game at this point, yeah. Probably have a bit more emphasis going back home to Sydney with my family and friends than anything, but yeah.
I think we're done, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Great.